Hi, I'm Nick Nanton, and welcome to the Consumer's Advocate. We bring the top people in the world to you to help you live a better life. And I've got two guests today you're going to love. I've got Gregoire and Keith Ellis. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Nick?
Awesome, man. So I know you guys. I've been hanging out with you guys. You're great at what you do. You work with people who I know also who are absolutely the top in the world in financial games. So congrats on that. But our viewers don't know you, so tell us a little bit about you.
Our company, SHP Financial, we started in 2003, and we've always had a conservative financial planning firm with the backbone being retirement income planning.
Retirement income planning. So why don't you explain that a little bit, Keith?
So basically what we do is we take a look at people's assets and guarantee retirement income. That's really what we focus on, is safety, security, longevity of income, making sure it's there, pillow test, those type of situations.
Cool. So tell me what the pillow test is. I love this concept.
It basically, you put your head on the pillow, you can sleep at night. You don't have to worry about the ups and downs in the market.
That's awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you guys do what you do in a second, but let's talk about your mission, your vision. Derek, how'd you get into this stuff, man?
Started in 2002, actually, out of college, had a finance background. I wanted to help people in that market, but I didn't want to really deal. I was nervous about the risks. In 2002 or 2001, I was interning for a company. The market crashed, and I had to see all their clients calling and being frantic because they're losing all their money. So I knew I loved the finance end of it, but I wanted to be able to construct people's financial plans without having to worry about their baseline income. I think a lot of advisors out there have it loaded where all the funds are at risk, where that's maybe good for when you're 30, 40 years old.
Right.
But as you're getting close to retirement or in retirement, you have to have it set up differently. It's a different stage of your life. So we focus on the distribution phase, and that's kind of how I started. But I changed kind of what I was doing at the internship to more make it what I felt comfortable with, and that was more based on guaranteed income planning.
Absolutely, and I have a finance background as well. My degree's in that, and it's so funny. I mean, seeing what you guys do, I know what you do. You don't learn any of that stuff in school. I mean, the banks don't know how to do this stuff. You guys do some really unique things, which is super cool. And the other thing that I think is cool is that you guys work with people who are what we call in that kind of retirement red zone, right?
Sure.
Within 5 to 10 years of retirement, and it's the person who helps you accumulate your wealth is usually not the same person to help you distribute it. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. There's a lot of rules out there that companies use called the 4% rule. It just doesn't work. It used to be the 5% rule. It used to be the 6% rule. 2002 happened. 2008 happened. Now we're seeing a transition out of that rule to the 4% rule. And even that has a high percentage of failure. So one thing that we focus on, and we want to make sure that people have the safety, security, peace of mind to know that that income's going to be there for the rest of their life. That check's going to hit that mailbox every day, or every month rather.
It has to be the foundation. Once you get that baseline of income and you want to take some chances with the rest of your money in a conservative way, that's fine, but that baseline has to be there at all times.
So if you can figure out how to make the paycheck hit every day, I'm in for that
that'd
one
be
too,
nice,
right?
exactly.
Good point.
Cool. So you guys are doing it uniquely, though. So Derek, just tell me a little bit about so people watching this say, but I already have a financial advisor, a financial planner, or my brother-in-law does this or whatever, and I don't know that I need help from guys like this. Let's talk a little bit about your process so people understand why they might need to call you.
Sure. Well, first of all, we don't work with everyone. It has to be, it has to be a fit for both of us. So we want to work with people that are focused, really wanting to set their financial house up from the ground up. And what that means is think about a house. You have the foundation. That's the most important thing. If you have all your foundation to us is income planning. That's income. If you build the walls and the roof is kind of risky money. A lot of people out there have it upside down where they have all their money in the roof. So if a storm comes, guess what? That collapses. We build it from the ground up with the foundation being income. Once you have that baseline income and you want to take some risks as you build the rest of your house, if those have some pitfalls, it's okay because we have that baseline income set up guaranteed for life.
That's awesome. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, I know there's probably got to be hundreds of stories, but tell me a little bit about one of your favorite client stories.
Yeah, I mean, we had a client, I don't know if it's one of my favorite stories, it's kind of a sad story, but then ended up being a happy story. Had a client come in, he had about $1.5 million right before the '08 crash. Came back to me in December, like I said, right after that '08 crash, had about $1 million at that point. His goal was retirement income planning. He wanted to have a sustainable income for the rest of his life. Went to see the guy he was currently work with. He talked him out of this plan, lost $500,000. He was in our door. Wow. So we were able to help him get the income he needs with inflation, guaranteed for the rest of his life. safe, secure, like I said, the pillow test.
If you can go to, yeah, you have to be able to go to bed at night and be comfortable. If someone's watching this and they're going to bed and not sure of what's happening in their retirement, then that doesn't pass the pillow test, like Keith said.
That's awesome, and I mean, for our viewers, because they, they're living real lives, and I mean, I just would encourage people to think about that. I mean, when you go to sleep at night, are you worried about where your next meal is going to come from? And people, particularly people working with you, I mean, they've worked their entire life to get to the phase they're at, and just one or two bad mistakes can just completely derail that.
Like the client I just said.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Sure.
Just to elaborate on that, our most clients during their 30s, 40s, 50s, as most clients come to us in their mid to late 50s and 60s, again, prepared for retirement or in retirement. And what they've been doing is they've been shown the accumulation phase of their life. They're not worrying about that money. What we do, and that's why I say we're not for everyone, we specialize in the distribution phase. The time you have this money, how do we get it paid back to you in a conservative manner that's in a minimum guaranteed level? And that's a whole different stage than when you're accumulating money. The distribution phase, you need this money to rely on now. There has to be a specialist that can do that. If you have a heart problem, you don't go to your general practitioner. You want to see a specialist or a cardiologist. Just like that's kind of what we are, a specialist for retirement income planning, safety, peace of
Over
mind.
and above that, some of the things we do as well as wealth transfer, tax planning. You want to make sure that your IRA exit strategy, just different things like that. Over and above, like Derek said, that retirement income planning. But that should be first and foremost, definitely.
So I know you guys have some alternative ways of investing as well, which are pretty unique.
Yeah, there's an investment out there that not too many people know about. It's starting to become more popular. It's called structured settlement transfers. And what it is basically someone who owns a particular payment, whether it be a lottery or a structured settlement, and they are willing to take less money for more money into the future. So our investors will come in, give up a lump sum of cash, and in return they can either get a payout stream, a lump sum in the future, or income in the future, like a deferred income stream. And the rates of return are very competitive from top-notch rated institutions. It's definitely something people should look at.
Awesome. So if people want to reach you guys in the Boston area, how do they find you?
We're on, we have about 10, how many radio stations?
We're on 11 radio stations.
We have
on NECN every Saturday, but our website is www.shpfinancial.com.
SHPfinancial.com.
Correct.
Guys, it's been great to have you. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who need your help, so I encourage them to get in touch with you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.